Good morning, it's me. I'm back. I'm Stephanie Flath, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm coming to you live on Wednesday morning, July 26th, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'm gonna refresh my screen here a second. So you can find me every Wednesday morning at 10:30 on my Facebook. Sorry, there's other things in the way. My Facebook business page at facebook.com/dazzled by stamping. And you can find me any other time on my website at dazzledbystamping.com. You can find me for shopping or ideas or classes or all those sorts of things. Good morning, Carrie and Janet. Thank you for joining me. So if you are on with me, let me know. Tell me hi. I love to know when you're here. Good morning, Terry. So quick mention, we are in the last few days of July. Two things that come to mind are one, my Dazzling Card Club registration ends today. We're using Circle Sayings and the Memories and More products. There's both cards and envelopes, and there's a card pack. If you're not familiar with those, I forgot what page they're on. Do I have it open? I'm going to look up really quick. I feel like it's, well, I'm not even going to try to guess. I'm just going to look. So anyway, they are specialty 135. They are specialty cards and envelopes. They're actually bigger size and they coordinate. And the card pack is something that they're either 3x4 or 4x6 cards that you can use both to make really simple cards. They're already designed. Or if you do scrapbooking and you do the page protector pockets method, you have already designed little pieces that can go in. So you have a page all set with your picture and with some cute little designs and whatever. So it's a fun thing. Good morning, Nancy and Dot. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Dot, for sharing already. That's awesome. So is Carson sleeping? Thanks for joining me when he's napping. Okay, so anyway, registration ends today. Second thing is July is bonus days for Stampin' Up. So with every $50 that you order, every $50 products that you order, you get a $5 bonus code, which is a coupon. And you can redeem those in August. So we're nearing the end of being able to earn them. I've earned a few. Okay, so I have my randomizer loaded up, and I'm going to start that really quick. It looks really big. Just a second. Oh, wow, it was really big. Okay, so starting my randomizer and get my Post-it notes ready. Janet Bignall, congratulations. You are my winner. So I am sending you the gift card holder for that. And then now I have to pick another name. And this one is for the treat bag with the chocolate and Alighire, you're my winner. Chocolate and there's this lemonade packet thing in there. It's kind of cute. We haven't tried ours that we have. Anyway, congratulations, girls. Good job. Thank you for sharing, I guess I should say. All right. I'm going to refresh again. It seems like it's not moving at all. Just a second. Okay. All right, so today, if you saw my reminder this morning, I'm going to show you, this is a current trend right now. Hi, Kathy. This is a current, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Marsha. And good morning. There is a current trend right now to make a trellis card. I've seen a few of them, and I've been wanting to show you guys for a long time, but I keep forgetting that that's like somewhere in the back of my head. That one's actually going to be the second card that I make. The first one that I'm going to make, we're going to use, I'm going to use this stamp set. It's called Layering Leaves. It's just sort of cute. I like the font. So this is the first one that I'm going to use. And I'm actually going to use, today's a strips day also. So I'm going to be using strips of things. So I'm using designer paper today, both Glorious Gingham and the a piece from the Daisy one. Good morning, Marlene. So anyway, I'm going to put you down and I'm going to start stamping. So I don't know why the past few weeks, I feel like this is at least the third week in a row. When I go to put you down, I look right at finish and think that's where I need to go. That's not where I need to go. Okay, I got my magic wand. I'm going to put you backwards, or unbackwards you, and put you upside down. Okay. All right, let's see if I can get this closer, more in the page. Okay. All right. So I told you we're going to be using, ooh, wow, this is, I must have changed this angle or something. Something is being weird. There. That seems a little better. Okay, so using Layering Leaves, and I'm using a couple different embossing folders. So this is one, you probably may not be able to see this very well. I guess I'll take it out of here and do the texture. Sorry to use this. I think this is called Exposed Brick. It is a 3D, is it 3D? Yeah, it's a 3D embossing folder. So it's extra thick. And just so you know, well, I'll show you in a minute when I use the other one. Thank you for sharing, Marlene. You need a special platform. It's called a specialty plate when you use these. That does not come with your machine, whether you have the old one or the new one. It's a specialty plate. I'm just going to grab it so I don't have to tell you later. So it looks like this. Or you may have one, oh, and it's labeled number 4, but it's still like it's a separate, it's either $10 or $11 or something like that by the machine and stuff. Now you may have one that is like a blue that's sort of see-through. That is the same thing as this. So that will help you. All right, I'm going to use, oops, causing myself problems here, just a second. So I'm also going to use, and I'm going to do it before I pull everything out. This is another 3D embossing folder. It's called Leaf Fall. This is not in the catalog, but it is in online exclusive. So this was in the catalog, I think in the mini catalog, for fall, holiday, whatever. And so it's not in a catalog anymore, but you still can get it. So I'm actually going to use this. This is one of my designer paper pieces that I'm using. This is from the Daisy suite, the Fresh as a Daisy. I want to use it in here, and I want to show you. I didn't do this one first because I wanted to show you. So the leaves just sort of go like this, so you can get sort of a corner of your project. And I want it in that, in the embossed part, so I put it in there. So just gonna run this through really quick. So quick reminder, you always need to make sure that your dies or your folder are protected. So no matter what your sandwich is, something needs to be on top. Whether it's your cutting mats, if you're using your dies, or whether it's the specialty plate or whatever, something needs to be on top or you're gonna completely bend your embossing folder from the pressure, or your dies. Oops. It's not good for them. So make sure something is on top. There always needs to be something between the folder and the barrels. Okay, so I just add a little bit of embossing here on this piece of designer paper. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my pieces on here. I'm going to make my base first. So this is I'm using Pretty Peacock from the Glorious Gingham designer paper. And this is the same designer paper, I just flipped it. So you have two different gingham designs. And I'm gonna attach these, excuse me, this is to Garden Green. So, go off and then it works. So this particular design is really simple and struggling because of the texture here, but I don't feel like I need something extra because it's just designer paper. This design is really simple. Thank you for sharing, Marlene. And you could use it for lots of different things. You could use separate, different designer papers or stamped pieces or whatever. I'm taking advantage of my designer paper here. So I'm just putting them sort of, spacing them as equally apart as possible, but I wanted different widths of these. So this is just, so I have a cool sort of design behind what I'm doing. All right, set this aside. All right, again, I'm just using, you know what, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna use my liquid glue since I have it out for my other thing. With texture, a lot of times you want to use, I often will use tear and tape or something like that so that it holds a textured piece down in place, but I didn't pull out tear and tape. I didn't think of that, so I'm just using liquid glue. All right, then this, I'm still just gonna use regular on here because I can at least get this on here. All right, so this is sort of my background stuff here. So my card base is ready. And now I'm just going to do another stamped piece on here. So this is the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. It's the one that is bundled, if you like bundles. It's bundled with the Circle Sayings stamp set, which is what we're going to be using at Dazzling Card Club next week, actually. All right, so I'm struggling to stay on camera here. It's weird. All right, so I'm using, where did it go? That's not it. Oh, this is it. Okay, so I'm using Thinking of You from this Layering Leaves. No, is that what it's called? I gotta look again. Yes, Layering Leaves stamp set. That's what we're using here. So I'm using Thinking of You, and I want it sort of toward the bottom of this circle here that I'm doing. And then I'm just going to stamp some of these leaves around it a little bit. So these are sort of goofy looking leaves, but I like them. I'm not I'm not sure there's so much leaves as parts of flowers or something. I don't really know. I like that. So here's that's fun. Is it in the way now? Making cool design reflections. So this was Old Olive with this particular leaf, I guess we're calling it. And I want Pretty Peacock. And I have two different stamps mounted on here. So I'm going to turn this around. So we're gonna ink up this one, and I'm gonna go one here, and then a stamped off one right there. And then I'm gonna use Garden Green. Thank you for sharing, Janet. Use Garden Green with this filled in leaves. Make sure I'm not putting ink down on something. Okay, I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, so I just wanted a bunch of leaves on here, but not fully. I wanted greens to go with my colors that I have going here. And so now I'm just gonna put dimensionals on the back. I remembered to make sure my dimensionals were in place so that I could find them. That's always a struggle. Okay. Then I'm just sort of gonna put it here. I actually used this as a swap for my team meeting a couple months ago. All right. Then of course we need some embellishments. And I'm going to use the gold. I feel like there's gold and copper and brass. And I want a couple different sizes, and I'm using up these small ones. So I'm gonna grab a small one and put it here. Another small one, I'll put it here. And then I want to grab a big one. We're gonna go. I want to change this. I want one actually on here. I forgot. Doesn't work well with my left hand. Okay. There. All right, there's my card. All done. I love this layering leaf stamp set. It's just a different take on leaves. Of course, you get lovely little, I love splatter too, and a cute font. And this was one of the $1 Million Sales designed stamp sets. I like it. Okay, so done with that card. Thank you, Marcia. Okay, so now I'm going to show you I'm going to put my embellishments away really quick here. Now I'm going to show you the Trellis card. First of all, tell me, have you guys seen a Trellis card or no? I feel like well, somebody told me or I read where somebody designed it. And so now it's a thing. Thank you, Kathy. So I'm gonna need my paper cutter. Oh, yeah, they're pretty. Okay, so Marcia's seen a Trellis card. All right. Well, if others of you haven't, you're going to now. So I'm starting with a white card base that is 4 1/4 by 11 and scored in half at 5 1/2. So I need 5 1/2-inch strips cut off the bottom. And then 2 3/8 of an inch. In my queue to try soon. Oh, cool. That's good, Carrie. Okay, so 1/2 inch. There's 1, 2. By the way, if you don't have our paper trimmer, it's amazing. 3. I love that it has a nice wide part over to the right of the cutting track so that I can do skinny little sections like this. 4, 5. Okay, so I have my 5 1/2 inch ones, and now I need 2 3/8 inch ones. So that's just smaller than half. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the second time that I've made this card. So good luck to me. All right, I do actually want to leave my paper trimmer out here. It'll be easier for you to see on here rather than on my white grid paper here. I feel a little bit weird using this because it's not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I think this will also help you see it too. We probably could use masking paper, but I couldn't find mine. So I'm using painter's tape. You want something that is temporary. And so I'm going to put it to the middle of my card, the inside of the rest of my card, and I'm going to cut this off or tear this off. Now, also to help me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this back and sort of tape my card to my surface here. I'm going to get this out of the way and do the other end too. I feel like it will help me for lining up my strips. So you definitely want something temporary that will come off and hopefully not rip it. So I have the sticky side is facing up, so I attached it to the underside of the rest of this card front. And so I'm going to put my 2 skinnier, my 3/8 inch pieces, those are going to be set aside. And I'm going to use this these 1/2 inch ones. And I'm starting at the bottom because I want this first one lined up right at the bottom of the card. So I'm going to put that one in place. So I lined it up both here and with the bottom of my card. And I'm going to put these strips on here so it'll hold it while I need it. Now the rest of these, I'm just approximating. I tried using a measurement actually on here. That was why I first got this out. And I couldn't find a good measurement. So I'm not putting this down here. I'm not pressing it. I'm just laying it on here so it's sort of holding it. But I don't want it on there hard. First of all, I want it to come off without peeling things. I can already tell I'm not going to have enough room. I need to move it down. I want it to come off without peeling off my cardstock. And if I need to adjust it. I'm gonna apologize right now. This card, I feel like I'm going to be quiet fairly often because it takes concentration for me to do these. Okay, again, I still need to pull it down. I don't know what the measurement is between the pieces, but I need less. Trying to twist, oops, and then trying to twist the other one, I pushed down this so it's sticking really well to that piece. I did the same to that one. All right. that is fairly even. I'm not sure if you can even be perfect with this. So if you are a perfectionist, I'm not sure this project is for you. Okay, so I have all my lines as evenly spaced as possible. We can hum the Jeopardy. Well, if that helps you, that sounds good, Nancy. Okay, so now I have my horizontal pieces here, and now I need to put my vertical pieces on. And how I do this is to decide where I want them, or how far from the edge I want it. And I'm going to put a dot of liquid glue on each horizontal piece down in a line. Just one at a time. Okay, so again, I'm starting at the bottom, lining it up at the bottom, and putting it across all of these. This one needs more up there. It's going to be a problem. I grabbed the wrong. I even had it upside down. Oh, wow. There we go. There's plenty now. Quick tip for you. I save a couple of my ribbon packaging. What do you call this? The circle thing that ribbon goes on. And I put my liquid glue right in there, so I can always have it upside down. Okay, I want to hold this because it's sort of rounding and trying to pull it off. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to do a strip up at the top, and then dot, 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 dot. And put my other strip down. I forgot there was one more thing I wanted to do in case my glue I can't do it with that. In case my glue squishes through, I was going to put my silicone mat underneath it, but since I have this squished down, I can't do that. All right, so this is the trellis part. And I did a worse job lining this up than I did on my first one. All right, for now what I'm going to do is unhook this from my paper trimmer and set it aside. I want this to dry before I start messing with trying to get this painter's tape off, okay? So I'm just going to set this aside. So I'm done with this. Now the pieces that I'm using for my trellis, I'm going to grab these. So I'm using the dies from, oops, I missed one. I'm using the dies from the Daisy Suite or bundle. And so I have the big set of flowers. I already ran them through. I need to cut off. There's a leaf that cuts out with the daisies. I'm just going to trim off the rest of that. And then I have 3 stems. I want all 3 stems for all 3 flowers. And I have 2 extra leaves. I wanted stamped leaves instead of just these open die cut ones. So I'm going to do some stamping on here that I want done. So first I'm going to start with these. I know this looks kind of silly, but I did it on my first one, and I felt like I would do a better job just stamping on this rather than trying to what's the word? Trying to balance my my die on it 3 different times while I was doing other dies, so I'm stamping this after the fact. And this could only work because it's photopolymer. There's no way I could do this without it being photopolymer. Okay, so I have my stems all stamped. They may have been able to be done without stamping, but I wanted them stamped. It just adds a little bit more detail. All right, now I'm going to stamp the flowers. I'm using, I don't know if you remember or not, but the stamps and the Cheerful Daisies, there's both the bold and there's the outlines, and I'm just going to use the outlines for this time. So this is crushed curry, by the way, and I'm using crushed curry ink. So I'm going to line this up, stamp that. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. I'm just wanting to give it color anyway. So the dies are all together, the 3 flower dies, but the stamps are all individual. I did not cut these apart. These were already like this. So that makes it a little more versatile, I feel like. Okay, so I did that. And now I need Memento again. So I want this to be nice and dark. So I'm actually going to stamp this a couple times. So this is the center. And I want to make sure that I get all of the center. That one's good. All right, and then I'm going to use the smaller center. With the amount of texture that's on here, on this stamp itself, you sort of miss spots because it's part of the design, but I just want it to be nice and bold on these die cut images. So here are my flowers. All right. Done stamping except for words. I'll do that later. All right. I'm gonna bring this back. And now I'm gonna take off my painter's tape. So this one comes off pretty easily. All right, and then this one, so I'm gonna pull from up here. This one, depending on how hard I have it pressed down, it could possibly peel off some of the paper. So you want to do it carefully, and I'm sort of going at an angle. I'm already starting to peel this one off. These are the 2 that I pressed down when I was trying to reposition. So these 2 might give me a problem. I'm going to start from this side and see if that helps. By the way, I did not mention, especially with what's going on right now with it trying to peel off, it would be a good idea for you to use, if you're going to use white as opposed to, like if you're going for the white trellis, use thick white cardstock, not just regular cardstock. I did do that. So, once I peel it down, then it's not so bad. If I get it off the paint, then it stays where it's supposed to. The paint, the painter's tape. There, that's not so bad. That's coming right off once I get that off the edge. All right, coming from the corner. This one is trying to go right there. Okay, that was just my grid paper. We did okay. All right, so now you have this trellis that is all I don't know what word I want to call it. Like these wouldn't stay together if you didn't have them all. They need help staying together to get them that way in the first place. All right, now I want to use my mat this time. This is when I started using it anyway. All right, so now what I want to do is get my pieces on here. So we're gonna put my flowers up against it. We're gonna put stems. I'm sort of just placing things to see where it's at. You know what? First thing I wanna do is crease this better. I need my bone folder. I think I did this in the first place, but it just needs more help. It's not staying flat. And I wanted it not on cushion, so I did it off camera on my hard table. Okay, so I want a stem for this flower and a stem for this flower. And this one, I want it to go through a couple. I want it to go through the trellis. This is not an easy thing to do, in my opinion. Maybe you guys all have better control, but it's not the easiest thing to do, but it sure is so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna put these so that they're all sort of meeting up together with one stem, because these daisies sort of, they look like that sometimes. But I need to see how it goes with these. So this needs to be on there. That would be good. That sort of all works. Okay. One thing also, I want this one to come off my my cardstock. I want it to look like it's growing up into this and off the page a little bit. This is the quietness, me trying to get these. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive behind here. And press that one down. And then a little bit of adhesive behind this one. I really need to get a different glue. This is bugging me. Okay, that one's down. Now I need to reevaluate. So that one is good. I want this one sort of right here. Will this work? No, I want it lower because I want it off. Yes, that will be good. Okay. So I'm going to put some here and some here. Now there may be easier things that you put on your trellis. I have no idea. This is what came to mind. This was one of the first ones that I saw, was using the daisy. Another one that I saw used Dainty Details. Is that what it's called? Dainty Details bundle. And that one was really cute. I'm sure you can do all kinds of things. All right, so this is, I want this to attach to here. So I'm gonna go like this, put this down. And you know what, I'm gonna attach it on this one. Sorry, there's a lot of blank space of me concentrating. All right. Now I'm gonna put this behind here. I end up with ink or with glue on my fingers. I don't want to touch everywhere, so I'm sort of trying to figure out where I want to touch. Okay, I'm gonna give this a minute. I need to add more glue, but I'm gonna give this a minute so I know I have it at least where I want it to be. Oops, this one isn't staying. You know me and liquid glue. I get it everywhere and then things keep sticking. I can't do that. This one does not want to stay. Use my fingernail. Maybe there's none on there. There is now. Okay. So now that it's sort of holding in place where I want it to be, now I can lift some of these petals up to get more adhesive down, so there's not like pieces that are trying to stick up. This one likes to come up. This one petal. Put more in here. Some of them have such a skinny attachment to the center that it just likes to do that. So I've not actually watched a video of this being done, so maybe there are easier ways to do this. I just saw a sample, saw the measurements, and like, yes, we need to go for it. All right. You know what? I'm gonna use this to do it a second. Got some of the excess glue out that way. And then it didn't stick. That was a good choice to do. So make sure you have your silicone mat handy. That will be helpful. All right, then I want to add a couple leaves here and there. So I'm going to add one. That was sort of too much. I'm going to add one here. And then, for the most part, I've been putting glue on, actually on the trellis rather than on the back of one of these pieces, because I don't know where it'll end up on the trellis itself. That makes sense. Oops. So one more quick mention about this. I thought about it a second. What about two-way adhesive paper? Well, the only problem with that, I thought about that also, is I'm going to go to the back and show you. There will be adhesive all over this too. So it would be through the trellis, so it will stick to the inside of your card. So I wouldn't suggest that. That's my thought on that matter. Okay, so the first card that I saw did not have anything on the inside, and it's cute that way. But I decided that I do want something on the inside, and the best time to do that is now, after you have all your glue done, because you saw I had glue come through here. So I'm just using crumb cake. I wanted something sort of light. And so now I have like sort of a background behind it so you can see it well also. Okay, now I'm going to, remember I wanted this hang off here, but I want to trim it. So, all right, right, so I got that. All right, now I'm going to add my greeting and some embellishments, and then I'm done. So I decided to do your friendship means everything. It's a good, I love crumb cake too. It's a good shape of greeting for there. Good spot for that. And what we're gonna do is butterflies. So I'm going to do, I'm not using my take your pick tool, I'm just grabbing. So I'm gonna do one there. I think I'm just gonna use the big ones. One here. One there. And there's my card. Okay, so I'm done stamping. I'm gonna put you up and I'll show you the cards again. Okay, so I'm gonna upside down you, put you backwards again, and here you are. Okay, thank you. Okay, so here is the last one that I did. So here is the Trellis card. That's so cute. It just looks so summery. I love it. So the color behind in here sort of helps everything pop too. So there's that. And then here is, I'm gonna show you, where is my other one? So this was the first one I did. I used a different, thank you. I used a different saying for this one. It says, you made my day. So I just did the same design. So you definitely want to let this dry before you put it in your envelope or whatever. Okay, and here's the first card that I did. Thinking of you. Thank you. I'm glad that you like it. So what do you think? Are you guys going to try a Trellis card? So I always do this, but I'll just remind you again that I will put my measurements on my website and put a link to my website so you can, if you forgot what it was that I said, you'll know what it was or the colors I used or whatever. So I like the first one too. Yeah, it's good. Thank you. So, so some of us are getting ready for a retreat on Saturday. I'm so excited. Well, I mean, I don't know how much you guys have to get ready. I guess you have to pack. Excuse me, but we have retreat on Saturday, and we'll show. Oh, excuse me. I'll show pictures after, as long as I remember to take them. I'm not sure I took any pictures. Was it last time? I don't know. It was an off time. So remember to register for my Dazzling Card Club. We're using Circle Sayings. Bonus days are still going on through the end of the month. So through Monday, the 31st, every $50 that you order, you get a $5 coupon to use in August. That's all I can think of for you. That's all I have at the moment. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have fun making your own Trellis card if that's what you want to do. And I will see you again next Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Make sure that if you didn't already, make sure you share this video and then tell me that you shared, because then you'll be entered into my drawing for next week. I enter into I call it my randomizer. So I put names in there and everybody who shared gets entered in the drawing. And then I draw names because I'll give away these 2 projects that I just made. Thanks so much. Have a great day. And if you want to order or see dimensions, measurements, click the link once I update the post to include all that. So then you can go see how to do it. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.